everyone, it's Monica. Welcome back to Homeschool Voices. I'm really excited because today I'm going to tell you the best way to organize your homeschool. I've been homeschooling for 8 years, and every year I've tried to get more and more organized, and this year I think I have finally hit on the perfect organizational system, and I want to share it with you guys. If, like me, you find yourself feeling very scatterbrained and you are multitasking like crazy every moment of the day, and you're never sure what any one kid is doing, and you find that your kids keep getting distracted all the time, and you're not sure if you corrected this or that or the other thing, and in other words, you're just a mess. This is probably going to be the system for you. This system relies on two binders. We have a little binder and a big binder. So the little binder is the one that your child works out of all the time. And the big binder is the beautiful system of keeping records, basically. It's a record-keeping system. So already, I think we're on week 12, I have a nice little record of everything that my child has done, at least that is written on paper or could be printed out. It's actually super simple. There's only a few components. I am going to just go over those components now with you. So here's the binder. Now, I like these binders that have this plastic sleeve. If your kid is artsy, they might want to decorate it to have their name on it or some picture on the front, okay? And this is not important. This is just a little folder. They could just put whatever they want. This is very important, super important. It's a pencil case. It's not really important to you as the parent, but a lot of kids really like to customize those things, and I say make it fun, spend an extra couple of bucks on it and make it fun. This is, I made a sample spreadsheet. This is 9 weeks of school. Now, it took me a long time because I didn't think in the typical schooly sort of fashion to realize that there are actually 36 weeks. So this is 1 quarter. I made this up in about 40 minutes yesterday. I'm going to talk in more detail. This is the most intimidating part, but I promise you it's really not that bad. Okay? And after that, we have 36. I'm going to go towards the middle. We have 36 of, I'm going to show you a blank one, of these weekly planner sheets. I just found this and printed it for free online. There are so many. You can get one that your kid likes. This is, to me, kind of important, so I make sure that they put what week we're on, and it matches up to that spreadsheet. Of course, I think we're on week 12 now, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to explain to you how all of this works. But just remember, we got a nice little planner sheet here. It's Monday through Friday. If they want to plan their Saturday and Sunday, random notes, right? More random notes. So the idea you're going to see is that they learn how to plan their life, and that burden is taken off of you. And then we have 2 folders. Again, make them fun. Let your kids pick them out. Okay? The first folder here is for work that your child is currently doing. It's the weekend. My kids are not currently doing work. And the second folder is work that needs to be corrected. Now, you see I put a check mark on top when it's corrected. When it's corrected, it will come out of here, and it will go into the thick folder, and it literally just gets filed away so nice and neat. If you ever need it, you want to look back on what they did, you have it all right here, not in some random pile, not crumpled up in a drawer or on a shelf somewhere. Those are the basic components. You have a 1-inch binder that your kid works out of during the week, well, all the time, and then you have a 2 or 3-inch binder. The one that I have is a 2-inch binder. So now I'm just going to talk about the details a little bit. And the first thing that I want to talk about is that spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that I have up here is the key to everything. This is what will change your life. This looks really type A, and maybe it is, but you can be type A for a couple of hours and then make your whole year beautiful and wonderful and amazing. I swear you need to try this. So here it goes. So what you see here is 1 quarter. So you're actually going to make 4 of these. I did all 4 of them at once, and that's what I recommend doing, because actually I have found over 8 years of homeschooling that you think oh, and I could do this every 9 weeks, but then it becomes too big of a chore. It's better just to steel yourself up, drink some coffee, and get it all done at once. So again, this is sort of for a fictional 4th grader. We're actually on week 12, but I'm just to give you the idea. Make sure you have something for every subject area. So you're gonna have math, science, social studies, and language arts. Remember that language arts is actually reading, writing, spelling, and grammar. Now, when you look at what I have here, it's not complicated. Most of it you can get from your local library. And a couple of things I have on here you would have to purchase, and a lot of times you can get these things used. So look on eBay, look in your local Facebook groups, you'd be surprised at what you can get used. So let's start with social studies. I just use This Country of Ours. It's a book. You can read it to them or they can read it depending on their level. There's a lot of other ways you could go about this. Don't try to stay away from textbooks. They're awful. They're the death of learning. They're absolutely the worst thing ever. Get something that's a little more like a real book, or you could do, you know, those books that are Who Was or What Was. There's a whole series. Who was George Washington? Who was Abraham Lincoln? You can do those books here if you wanted to. So what I have them do is read a certain amount and write a summary about what they learned. And it's actually that easy. You don't have to be so complicated about everything. And I'm gonna give you a couple of notes about that. So just one quick note since we're getting started is you're probably thinking, well, I don't know how much they need to do. You're gonna make a wild guess. You're gonna make a wild guess about what you think is reasonable. As you go through a week or two, you may need to add more, or you may need to take away some. It may not be enough. You may also, you're gonna notice, I only have the basics here. You may wanna add piano. You may wanna add foreign language. But you need to have it all here because your child is going to be given the responsibility of going off of this list and making sure it all gets done. Science, I did Magic School Bus. They would read one of the books, watch one of the videos that go with the books, which I think you can access for free. And again, write a page about what they learned. Maybe your child can write a sentence. I don't know, maybe a paragraph, maybe 2 paragraphs, maybe 2 pages, whatever is right for your child. Again, we always want to challenge but not overwhelm. Every child is unique. You need to help your child grow, not the average 4th grader grow, right? You have a unique child. So just make it something that works really well for your child. Language arts, I have 3 different things. So I have a reading and writing component as the first thing. And I just, for example, have reading Charlotte's Web, 4 chapters a week. Just read and write a summary about what you read. Maybe they draw pictures, maybe they make a comic strip, I don't know. But if you keep it super easy on yourself, you can always switch things out or get more creative later. Then we have grammar. There's a fun book called Grammarland, and I just have a chapter a week. Then you see spelling, it's a fun program. Each lesson is, I think it's actually broken down into 5 parts, so it's something every day. I just put that because why not? And then lastly, I have Right Start Math, Level D, a lesson a day. It's that easy, you guys. You can add other things if you want, or you can just keep it this simple. So like I said, you can add foreign language, you could add logic, you could add art, but make sure you add it here. And again, this is for 1 quarter, you're gonna need 4 of these. One note about all of the writing stuff that I have, all of the summaries that I have here. So you might wanna pick one of those a week to make corrections on. So underline misspelled words, underline where they need to fix punctuation or capitals, and then they can go and fix that one thing. Don't make them do everything perfectly because it's just too much. And you also might find that with your child, that's actually just too much, and you don't need to do a summary with everything that they do. If I were to cut one summary for one of these things, I would do it with the Charlotte's Web because, you know, reading should be fun and we don't need to kill it with making it too academic. So I just want to give a little more detail about the other parts. So again, you have, here we go, got your spreadsheet there, right? But you also, next you're gonna have these weekly planning sheets. So your kid, you're gonna teach them to go on that spreadsheet, and then they're gonna take everything on that first column. Let's look at it. Everything on the first column. Okay. I hope you can see. hope you see that. It says week 1. It's the first column. You're going to teach them to take everything from that column and put it here. And I did this for the first time this year. I have a 4th and a 7th grader, and they freaked out. They freaked out for like 5 minutes. And then they got over it, and now they do it every week. It looked really intimidating, but great, because it's actually not a big deal. And just because something looks intimidating doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. And if you can teach them to do this, all that you have to do is go in here and there. Oh, Mom, I need help with my math. Sit down with them with math. Oh, Mom, I need help with his grammar. Can you help? Okay, sit down with that. You don't actually have to organize everything every day, because they know what they have to do at the very beginning of the day. They can, at the beginning of the week, actually, they can say, this is what I have to do this week. My kids on Monday mornings, they sit down and they plan their whole week. Okay, and if they don't get it done, they have to finish it on the weekend, because I have got to the spot where I know that the amount of work that I'm giving them is reasonable. Don't give them too much, don't give them too little. And if you know that it's reasonable, what I do is they finish it on the weekend. So it incentivizes them to ask me, hey, what activities do we have this week? What days are they? What time? So they know some days they're going to have to plan to do more of their work on certain days rather than others, so they can get it all done and they don't have to do it on the weekends. I can't emphasize this enough. My kids were very intimidated by this at first, and they figured it out in short order, and now, oh, life is amazing. So the last component are those 2 sparkly, glittery folders. Maybe you're going to have a Superman one. I don't know. Star Wars. Who knows? These 2 folders. We have 1, 2. Okay. This one, if I want to put extra work in there, it goes in there. This thing needs to be empty by the end of the week. I have to check. I just look. Is it empty? Oh, good. It's empty. Okay. This is where everything that needs to be corrected goes into. So let's talk about that for a sec. I used to feel like I had to do all of the corrections in a very organized way, you know, at a certain time every day or a certain day of the week. And then inevitably life would happen, and I would forget about things, and I would get behind, and then I would get stressed out. The amazing thing about this is I just go in that second folder. I grab from the back, right, because that's the oldest stuff. They put the newest stuff right on top. And I just grab from the back, and I start correcting things. If things need to be fixed, if anything is wrong, and there's often something wrong, I make a note of it. I communicate in writing, because I don't want to interrupt them with whatever they're doing when I happen to be correcting stuff, which is just when I have time, like most multitasking homeschool parents, right? You just sort of do this stuff when you have time, and it works beautifully with this method. So I just write. If I need to, I explain things out in writing on that paper. It goes back in the first folder. Then they do corrections. So basically, by the end of the day, I like corrections to be done. Certainly by the end of the week. We don't get any special weekend privileges until all of the corrections are done and all the work is done. I can't tell you how transformative this has been for us, and I promise it's going to be amazing for you too. So again, you just correct stuff in folder number 2. You put it back in folder number 1 if it needs work, right? If it does not need work, this is just nothing special about this. This is just a binder with dividers, and it just goes and gets filed in here. However you want to organize that binder, I say if it seems overwhelming, go simple. Just put social studies, science, math, and language arts, you know, and then just put it in there. Now, I mentioned before with that spreadsheet, you are probably going to have to make adjustments. Just keep that in mind. It's okay, right? Just so you might notice you need to make adjustments. Go onto your computer, make your adjustments, and print out a new one whenever you have a chance. And in the meantime, they just work from the old one, and it's imperfect, and it's okay to not be perfect. And with regards to what you put on your spreadsheet, what books you have them read, what programs, take some time to pick something that you feel good about, but don't take too much time. Don't lose sleep at night. Don't feel like it has to be perfect, because nothing's perfect, and we can learn from a lot of different things. So just take some time make a good decision, but don't go crazy. I really, really hope that this was helpful to you guys. Please tell me if you try it, and please tell me how it went in the comments below. I really want to hear back from you, or if you have other good ideas, let me know in the comments as well. If you like this video, please click thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, please click subscribe and the notification bell next to it. In the meantime, happy homeschooling and have a great day.